Breathe Pakistan.
A Dawn Media initiative.
Let's weather the change
Together.
In today's world, sustainability is no longer a choice but a necessity. As the impact of climate change continues to threaten our environment, businesses across Pakistan are stepping up to play their part. From renewable energy initiatives to circular economies, each effort is a step towards a greener, more sustainable future. In this second part of the documentary, we dive deeper into the innovative and transformative steps being taken by some of Pakistan's leading companies. These organizations are not only addressing environmental challenges, but are actively integrating sustainable practices into their core operations. The built environment plays a crucial role in shaping our future. One company leading the way in sustainable construction practices is AkzoNobel.
At AkzoNobel, our products and technologies can help building projects achieve global green building certifications such as SGBC. Our commitment to sustainability is not only limited to our products in the market, rather internally at our new factory in Faisalabad, we are transitioning to sustainable solar energy. Moreover, our in-house Miyawaki forest at our factory is another example of how we are taking steps to enable a more sustainable future. We are seeing green shoots like some large developer moving towards sustainable building. This means the transition to sustainable building in Pakistan has just begun. Given the fast pace of the build-up environment in Pakistan, it's key that all stakeholders, that is business, corporate, civic bodies, suppliers, and most importantly, government and academia, collaborates to co-create a future that promotes green building adoption at a mass scale. Let me give a practical example here. If you are painting your home exterior with Dulux Weather Shield PowerFlex, you get an assured warranty of 12 years. This means that homeowner will be getting their repainting done after 12 years versus every 3 to 4 years if they choose a conventional option in the market. This will mean less resources used in the longer run. It also directly reduces the operational and embedded carbon of the building. When it comes to sustainable innovation and quality, AkzoNobel's Dulux brand of decorative paints is recognized as a global frontrunner. Innovations like Dulux Weather Shield and Dulux Aqua Shield are more energy efficient products. Similarly, in case of our coating across industries, with many superpowers like superior anti-corrosion, zero VOC, lead and chrome-free formulation, our innovative products are increasingly safe, efficient and durable. Our international brand of protective coating is now protecting the Swat water supply pipeline, a project which is funded by World Bank. Similar innovations like our Dulux Aqua Shield rooftop not only protects roof from seepages and the side effects of the rain, but also go beyond to reduce surface temperature by up to 10 degrees Celsius. Paints and coating plays an important role in the built environment of Pakistan, right from homes to the large-scale industrial and infrastructure projects. Over the years, rising temperatures have necessitated increased energy consumption. That's why we have also introduced innovations specially designed to reduce the surface temperature and keep people living and working inside buildings cooler.
While sustainable construction is a critical aspect of a greener future, chemistry and innovation are key drivers of change. BASF is a company working to harness chemistry for sustainability.
Chemistry is a key enabler for sustainable future, and only with innovations can chemistry solve the problems of the future. Supplying a fast-growing global population with food, energy and clean water, making the best use of limited natural resources and protecting our climate are among the greatest challenges of our time, and innovations based on chemistry play a pivotal role in overcoming these. And here BASF has more than 10,000 scientists globally working in R&D, and we spend more than 2 billion euros on R&D. So to answer your question, I'm going to look at 3 examples. One, where we're using renewable raw materials. The second one, where we are looking to take waste and create value. And the third one is how we can increase the efficiencies. So the first one is our SSS, or our Sustainable Solution Steering. Aware that businesses' activities can have both positive and negative impacts to the environment, we want to strive for making sure that our products have a positive effect on the environment and also society, and minimize the negative effects. So to achieve this, we need to measure each and every one of our products on the impact it has on the environment and society. So BASF has more than 40,000 products. Each one of them has been assessed according to a globally accepted assessment tool and assigned a category in what we call our SSS analysis. And from the top end, where it is a pioneer, which has a positive impact to the environment, to the lower ones, which is challenge, which we have severe concerns. I'm very pleased to say that in Pakistan, 50% of all our products is in the top two categories, which means that our products have a positive on par with the market or above. So we're doing a lot and have been doing a lot for Pakistan so far. The second one is where we take waste and create value. And here are BASF's chem cycling. And this is the name of a recycling project that BASF has launched several years ago. And it's basically with the aim to manufacture high performance products from waste, chemically recycling it. So for example, we could take scrap vehicle tires and convert it into clear coats used in automotive coatings. Or we could take plastic waste and transform that into raw materials used in the manufacture of shampoos, conditioners, etc. These are all replacing fossil fuels, which is obviously absolutely key. The third one is obviously increasing the efficiencies. And here BASF has a leading position in battery storage with its high energy, long duration battery, sodium sulfur battery solutions. Globally, the demand for power generation coming from renewable energy requires battery solutions.
In the realm of life sciences, Bayer Pakistan is making strides in sustainable agriculture and healthcare solutions.
At Bayer, our focus on sustainable agriculture, or regenerative agriculture as we call it, is key. There are two proponents to regenerative agriculture. The first is enhancing yields while protecting crops from pests, harsh weather, in conditions which are difficult, while adhering to highest safety standards. The other part of sustainable agriculture is to restore more, meaning conserving scarce resources, which also has a positive impact on climate change. If you look at innovations, hybrid corn seed in Pakistan is a big example of where we've tripled crop yields for farmers in Pakistan in the last 20 years. This has helped us produce more with the same amount of land. In future, we'll have access to drought-resistant technologies as well, which will protect scarce resources like water, which will obviously have a great impact on reversing the impacts of climate change. Our products rely on decades of world-leading research and innovation to improve outcomes for farmers on several fronts. The first is protection. Our products safeguard yields against pests and diseases that can devastate crops and threaten food security. As we continue to innovate, our crop protection products continue to adhere to highest global standards. Another solution lies in seeds that are bred to be more suited to specific environmental conditions. This makes for a more resilient crop and better outcome for farmers. Technology-driven solutions continue to help improve farming solutions in Pakistan and around the globe, which address the challenges posed by climate change and help feed a growing population. I think one key challenge is educating farmers on how to use these innovations and to help preserve their natural resources while protecting their farm yields. Farmers in Pakistan are eager to learn and to utilize new technologies and techniques. However, the sheer number poses a challenge. The agri-sector in Pakistan accounts for around 37% of the overall labor force. It is safe to say it is the biggest sector in Pakistan. We engage directly with approximately 2 million farmers annually at Bayer. Through learning centers, through demos, through field days, all of this brings us closer to a mission of health for all, hunger for none, and helps us prevent the impacts of climate change.
Innovation and sustainability go hand in hand. And this extends to companies like Unilever, which is embedding sustainability across its entire supply chain.
So Unilever ने 4 pillars define किए हैं जो इनके focused pillars हैं. पहला pillar है climate, which is all about reduction of the greenhouse gas emissions. Second जो pillar है, it's around nature. कि आपने जो regenerative agriculture के अंदर जाना है, which is again using innovative techniques. तीसरा जो pillar है, it is around circularity of plastics, और जो लास्ट पिलर इट्स अराउंड इनकम विच इज़ लिविंग वेज। यूनिलीवर ने इन 4 पिलर्स के अराउंड जो एक्शंस लिए हैं, सबसे पहला जो एक्शन हमने लिया है क्लाइमेट के अराउंड, हमारी फॉर एग्जांपल जो रहीम यार खान के अंदर बहुत पुरानी फैक्ट्री है, अगेंस्ट 2015 बेस हम लोगों ने जो कार्बन एमिशन रिड्यूस कर दिया बाय अराउंड 90% थ्रू अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ सोलर, स्टीम पावर्ड एंड ऑल्सो थ्रू अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ कार्बन क्रेडिट्स। जो दूसरा एक्शन हमने लिया है दैट इज़ अराउंड क्लाइमेट रिजिलियंस के अंदर। आज से तकरीबन कोई 12 महीने पहले हमने 2 इंस्टीट्यूट के साथ काम किया। हमने सिंध के अंदर और केपी के अंदर 2 विलेजेस अडॉप्ट किए और वो पूरे हमने क्लाइमेट रेजिस्टेंट विलेजेस बनाए एज अ मॉडल विलेजेस फॉर द गवर्नमेंट टू एक्चुअली रेप्लिकेट एट स्केल। सर्कुलैरिटी के ऊपर काफ़ी काम किया। आज जितना भी हमारा टोटल प्लास्टिक जो कंज्यूम होता है उससे ज़्यादा हम जाके कलेक्ट करते हैं, उसको हम रीप्रोसेस करते हैं, हम उसको सेकेंड लाइफ देते हैं। आज हमारी जो शैम्पू है उसके अंदर तकरीबन 25% जो प्लास्टिक इस्तेमाल हो रहा है वो पीसीआर प्लास्टिक है। हमारे जितने भी शैम्पू हैं सारे रिसाइक्लेबल हैं। मेजॉरिटी ऑफ आवर प्रोडक्ट्स आर नाउ रिसाइक्लेबल एंड बायोडिग्रेडेबल। सो ये हमने स्टेप्स लिए हैं इस प्रेमिस के अंदर। देखिए, पैकेजिंग के अंदर जो सस्टेनेबिलिटी हम इंटीग्रेट कर रहे हैं वो हम कर रहे हैं कि जितने भी हमारे जो प्रोडक्ट्स हैं वो रिसाइक्लेबल हों। जितनी भी पैकेजिंग हम इस्तेमाल करें वो रिसाइक्लेबल। इसका मतलब है कि हम मल्टी लेयर नहीं इस्तेमाल करेंगे, हम मोनो लेयर इस्तेमाल करेंगे। दूसरा उसके अंदर कि हमारे जो पैकेजिंग है हम उसको रिसाइकिल कर सकें और उसको सेकेंड लाइफ दें। सो आज शैम्पू जो कि है हमारे 2 SKUs हैं जहाँ पे हम तकरीबन 25% PCR यानी कि जो रेजिन जितने भी प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं इस पोस्ट कंज्यूमर रिसाइकल्ड रेजिन इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं। द सेकेंड एरिया जहाँ पे हम प्रोडक्ट के अंदर इंटीग्रेट करते हैं वो है थ्रू रीजेनरेटिव एग्री। जो भी हमारी सोर्सिंग हो वो सस्टेनेबल सोर्सिंग हो। तो हम लोग काफ़ी मुख्तलिफ रेन फॉरेस्ट के मेंबर हैं वहाँ पे। तो हम कोशिश करते हैं कि जितने भी हम लोग भी प्रोडक्ट सोर्सेज करें वो सस्टेनेबल हो, रीजेनरेटिव एग्री हो, ताकि हम प्रोडक्ट के अंदर जो भी प्रोड्यूस करें इट्स एक्चुअली सस्टेनेबल फ्रॉम द पैकेजिंग लेंस एज वेल एंड वॉट एवर गोज इन टू द प्रोडक्ट मेकिंग एज वेल। यूनिलीवर वो वाहिद कंपनी थी जिसने एक इंडस्ट्री वाइड इवेंट किया था ऑन रियली क्रिएटिंग एन अवेयरनेस ऑन द क्लाइमेट चेंज इन पाकिस्तान, and that was first of events where we brought everyone together, not only from our own set of industry but cross industry. Then we also basically did an event on renewable energy, in partnership with the SBP Governor State Bank कि हम renewable energy को किस तरह practically करें, और हमने क्योंकि वो किया हुआ था उसके commercial हमने benefits भी बताए थे। Then from a OICCI platform, we have launched this Pakistan Climate Conference. We have been active participants in COP last year and this year as well. Also working very closely with the regulators कि जो हमने policy framing करनी है उसको किस तरह हमने उसका road map क्या बनाना है, उसकी policy framing के अंदर क्या करनी है, तो काफ़ी हम उनके साथ closely काम करते हैं। So we have been quite active when it comes to advocacy and really creating awareness at a consumer level, with the government and also within our own industry.
Another sector tackling climate change head-on is food manufacturing, with EBM taking bold steps to reduce its environmental footprint.
So climate change has affected not only our business but our sector immensely. And it's not just a problem for food manufacturers in Pakistan, but globally. Being the largest food manufacturer in Pakistan, the impacts and ramifications for us are more severe than others, because ultimately biscuits are consumed as food products here in Pakistan. So how does climate change impact us directly? We have 3 main ingredients in biscuits, cakes, and the products that we make: flour, sugar, and shortening. Flour and sugar are harvested and grown here in Pakistan. And when you have catastrophic events which are resultants of the negative impacts of climate change, such as the floods that unfortunately we had to see, and we had to incur the damages for families, for people, the farms, where our raw materials are being harvested, that directly has an impact on us and the continuity of doing business. Sustainability is a starter for ultimately what I call a part of the circular economy. And I think that's what we need to be talking about. When we talk about sustainability, ultimately we're talking about sustainability in all facets of life, a sustainable lifestyle, a sustainable way of living, and all the inputs that are around a sustainable way of living. Now, what are we doing specifically at EBM, and what are we doing for decades actually for preserving our Earth and ultimately slowing down? Unfortunately, we can't reverse the negative impacts of climate change, but we can slow them down. So I take immense pride in letting people know that 85% of our packaging material is recyclable or recycled, and we inshallah ta'ala aim for it to be 100% by 2030. We've made roads here in the Kurangi area that are made from recycled bricks and from our own waste. Two of our largest plants are 100% run on renewable energy that make lemon sandwich biscuits. So to know 100% of lemon sandwich biscuits are made from renewable energy. That's where it becomes relatable to consumers for them to understand that this is the impacts of the positive impacts of what we do and how we use renewable energy through our solar farms in preserving the environment.
Water conservation is a pressing concern in Pakistan, and Pakistan Beverage Limited is at the forefront of addressing this issue through innovative recycling initiatives.
We, on an average, we consume more than 500,000 gallons of water every day, or almost several times a day basically. And for us it was very important to replenish that, rather than just to obviously reuse that, but to also replenish that. By which we mean is that all waste that we leave from this plant, this Karachi plant, is that it's all treated by a state-of-the-art fluent treatment plant that we set up around 2020. So that's been around nearly 4 years since, that's been more than 4 years since we've been using that. And the water that comes out of that is reused in our cooling towers, but also used to replenish water sources in other parts, by which I mean that we give that water to parks and to gardens and to other sort of organizations within our area, and we give them to that to use for their parks, for their greenery. That essentially means that this water is returned to the water table.
PPPL has also integrated recycled plastic into its manufacturing processes and installed a solar plant at its Karachi facility, further advancing its sustainability agenda.
Ensured that the entire portfolio that we have is recyclable, meaning that it has to be made with certain materials. For example, we are phasing out PVC and moving more towards PET, and we're phasing out certain thicknesses of plastic. And for example, this full sleeves that we used to get, we made with PVC plastic. We're phasing that out, and we have phased that out. So our portfolio up till around 4 years ago was 100% renewable, recyclable. We've taken that further to include recycled materials as well. We were the first bottler in Pakistan, any bottler across all systems, to use recycled plastic. The way beverages is, it is a very water heavy and unfortunately also a very plastic heavy industry, but that also requires a lot of energy. We have been dependent on self-generation for a very long time because of the way the environment is. So in that, what our major reform has been is that while we are still operating on self-generation, we've added renewable energy to that, and we've added we started with smaller sort of setups, smaller sort of, you can say, systems based on our plants, but now we've moved to having around 2 megawatts across our plants in Hyderabad, Quetta and Karachi to be entirely to use solar basically. So 2 megawatts of solar energy is available to us right now that we use on a daily basis. And then to further enhance that, we've signed MOUs with Gul Ahmed Energy and other IPPs for renewable energy, particularly wind and solar. And we are moving to actually further increase that, because the goal is for us is to be 100% renewable by 2030.
As the food manufacturing sector makes advances in sustainability, the transportation sector is also evolving. One company making a difference is BYD, which is committed to driving change through electric vehicles.
So when we talk about climate change and we talk about impact on the environment, of course, transportation has a huge impact, and not just globally, but specifically in Pakistan. If we talk about fossil fuels and the usage of fossil fuels in Pakistan, 40% of the fossil fuels consumption goes directly into the transportation sector. Now, unfortunately, the transportation sector in Pakistan is divided as such where the mass transit is not very dependable. So there's a huge resilience on inefficient sources of transportation. So we're talking about combustion engine vehicles, we're talking about buses running on diesel, we're talking about two-wheelers and three-wheelers using very inefficient forms of energy transition from gasoline to power, for the transportation. So when we specifically talk about transportation, we are saying that in Pakistan, the impact is seen all over the country. If we take Lahore for an example, where it's very unfortunate that currently Lahore is ranked on top 10 cities in the world as per the AQI index. Right now it's at 300 and above. The particulate matter 2.5, which is the most hazardous material in the environment, that stands at 50 times the level that is mandated by the World Health Organization. When we talk about using electric vehicles, we're talking about the zero tailpipe emissions that come with electric vehicles. Even if we take into account the energy that's utilized to power and charge the electric vehicles, we're talking about 70% of reduction in greenhouse gas emissions. And that's specifically in the cases of electric vehicles and plug-in hybrids, which we nowadays refer to as new energy vehicles, as compared to gasoline engines, where the gasoline converts to energy. About 60% of conversion only happens. And when we talk about electric vehicles, that generation from battery to electric motor is more than 70%. So that's the direct impact that we see when we are looking at new energy vehicles. BYD has a flagship program called Cooling the Earth by 1 degrees. And what that has translated into is by January 2025, there has been a reduction of more than 80 million tons of carbon dioxide from the environment, which is equivalent of 1.3 million trees offsetting the emissions. And one of the major challenges that we face is about range anxiety and having a charging infrastructure in place that supports the adoption of electric vehicles in Pakistan. The way we are addressing that is Mega Motor Company and our sister concern, Hapco Green, is directly putting up charging infrastructure all over Pakistan. We are doing it through collaborations with traditional oil marketing companies, trying to tap into the existing fuel network that's already available in Pakistan. And not only that, we are also putting up a local assembly plant in Pakistan that will help with future adoption as well as job creation and having that economic impact on the society.
In the era of connectivity, telecommunications infrastructure must also evolve to address climate challenges. Zong is one company adapting its approach to ensure sustainability.
Telecom infrastructure is equally affected extreme climatical conditions. In case of floods, physical damage to infrastructure, uprooted cell site and disrupted power supply impact connectivity and communication services that are critical for relief and rescue in post-disaster scenario. Similarly, heat waves strain energy resources and cooling system, affecting network reliability. We at Zong are deeply committed to resilient and sustainable solutions. We are resorting to renewable energy, rebuilding and upgrading to elevated infrastructure, especially in the vulnerable areas, and using climate-resilient building materials and disaster preparation. Government of Pakistan focus on renewable energy, sustainable development, and disaster preparedness is increasingly influencing the telecom industry as well. We at Zong are actively collaborating with the Government of Pakistan to support climate action goals. This includes adopting green energy solutions such as solar powered cell site to reduce carbon emission and enhance network resilience. We support government's disaster response efforts by leveraging our network technology for emergency communication and providing relief support in affected areas. Technology drives on sustainability efforts. Our automated meter reading solution enabled leading discos in Pakistan to monitor energy consumption in real time, address power theft, and optimize energy usage, contributing to efficient energy management and carbon emission tracking. Building on this, we are integrating IoT-driven energy solutions to further enhance efficiency and support global green energy goals. We have solarized 1,000+ cell sites and upgraded power batteries with over 12,000 Li-ion batteries, significantly reducing our carbon footprint and ensuring 100% network availability. In future, we aim to solarize more than 300 sites, introduce predictive weather-based network management system to advance renewable energy adoption and resilience. At Zong, we believe in addressing climate change with innovation and compassion, combining cutting-edge technology with impactful CSR.
As we continue to explore sustainability in diverse industries, companies like Pakistan Cables are also playing a vital role in supporting renewable energy solutions.
Pakistan Cables has had a front row seat in terms of the evolution with respect to renewable energy in Pakistan. Because our business is driven by electrification and the demand for electrification, if you notice in recent years, there's been a surge for solar, there's been a surge for wind, and as such, we have been developing products to support that requirement. We are the first company in Pakistan to have those solar cables certified by an international body known as TUV Rhineland, which is sort of the world gold standard, if you will, for solar products. And now Pakistan is able to supply those products internally as opposed to have to import them through our efforts. In addition to that, because we are linked with the transmission and distribution sector and the grid in Pakistan is extremely stressed, one solution towards resolving that problem is to bring in more efficient products into the system. And a few years back, with the help of an American company, we were able to introduce a product called ACCC, which, without getting too technical, is essentially a product that replaces your conventional product with a more energy efficient product. It doubles the output of a particular transmission line and it reduces line losses by 30%. And when you reduce line losses by 30%, essentially you reduce the load on fossil fuels, because a lot of your generation is coming from furnace oil, coal, and so on. So energy efficient products like ACCC can not only reduce the carbon footprint of the company, but of the country, but can also have a significant impact on the reduction or the improvement of the transmission. We were amongst the first 26 companies in Pakistan to sign up for a net zero commitment. And we then further underscored that by being amongst the first 5 companies in Pakistan to have our science-based target initiatives verified and certified. Everyone is solarizing, and of course we are as well. So we've got a 2 megawatt solar in our new plant in Nooriabad. It's a world-class facility, and of course we want to be energy efficient over there. We are very conscious about water consumption, and we have a 50,000 gallon per day effluent treatment plant in place. In addition to that, we have, and the first thing we did in this project when we were putting it up, even before we began construction, was to plant in urban forest. And on 3 acres, we have planted 50,000 trees.
To ensure wider adoption of climate solutions, innovative financing models are essential. Karandas is helping bridge the gap in climate-related investments.
We do not have a vehicle which can intermediate the capital to the climate change solutions, especially when it comes to private sector investments. We do get some money for the grant projects which are funding some sort of dams or other projects, but when it comes to really private sector solutions for the climate finance, we do not have a vehicle. And when I say vehicle, it means that we need to create capacities in Pakistan that we offer comprehensive solution which can invest in the commercial side, which can invest in where the grant is required and which can also push the frontier of knowledge where there is a lack of knowledge on some of the solutions. So what Karandas is doing, I come to that. We have a comprehensive offer in the sense that we are investing in Tier 1 and Tier 2 solutions. Tier 1 is where the commercial viability of the solution has already been demonstrated, but it requires scale. So we provide financing where the commercial investors are not putting in money or the banks are not putting in money. And then we let those solutions scale. Tier 2 is where some proof of concept has been developed or an idea exists, but it requires hand-holding or it requires grant capital to take it to a stage where it can be commercialized. Now that's a highly concessional capital and highly risky capital because the idea can fail. But in any economy or in any jurisdiction, such investments are required, otherwise the innovation would not happen. So it's a role that Karandas is playing. We put money into such pilots, such innovative solutions, we seed them, and then we let them grow to a stage where the commercial capital can come in.
As the renewable energy sector expands, companies like Inverex Solar are at the forefront of making solar energy a viable solution for Pakistan.
देखिए जितनी भी प्रोडक्ट है सब चाइना से आती है, कोई भी चीज़ यूरोपियन इधर की नहीं, जितनी यूरोपियन कंपनी सब चाइना शिफ्ट हो गई हैं। सोलर पैनल भी चाइना से आते हैं, इन्वर्टर भी चाइना से आते हैं। बस ये है कि गवर्नमेंट यहाँ पे माशाल्लाह से सपोर्ट कर रही है। अब गवर्नमेंट बोल रही है कि आप लोकल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करें, लेकिन इज़ अ टेक टाइम, चंद दिनों में काम नहीं हो सकता है, ना सालों में हो सकता है इस पर काम हो, क्योंकि टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफ़र करना चाइना से लेना आसान काम नहीं है। हम जो काम कर रहे हैं इस वक्त, जो सारे पैनल जो हैं वो चाइना से इंपोर्ट करते हैं, लेकिन हमारी फर्म की एक सबसे बड़ी खासियत ये है कि हम अपनी R&D यहाँ पे करते हैं, अपनी डिज़ाइनिंग यहाँ पे करते हैं इन्वर्टर की, और चाइना में असेंबलिंग कराते हैं, फिर हम यहाँ पे इंपोर्ट करते हैं। अब इंशाल्लाह अगले साल, एक आध साल के अंदर इंशाल्लाह हम लोकल असेंबलिंग करेंगे और यहाँ पे बनाएंगे। अब गवर्नमेंट इसमें क्या किरदार अदा करती है? गवर्नमेंट जो है देखें, सोलर पैनल पे कोई ड्यूटी, कोई टैक्सेस, कोई सेल टैक्स नहीं लेती है। इन्वर्टर के ऊपर 18% सेल टैक्स है, तो वो गवर्नमेंट हमसे करती है, लेकिन इंशाल्लाह जब मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करेंगे तो वो गवर्नमेंट ने हमसे कहा है कि हम इस पर ड्यूटीज़ लगाएंगे, लोकल मैन्युफैक्चरर को हम ज़्यादा बेनिफिट देना चाहते हैं। कि अभी ये नई टेक्नोलॉजी है, नई चीज़ें हैं, लोगों को परेशानी ज़्यादा होती है, लगाने वाले इंस्टॉलर जो हैं वो इतने एजुकेट लोग नहीं हैं, तो उसकी वजह से इन्वेक्स ऑनलाइन मॉनिटरिंग भी करती है, ऑनलाइन ट्रेनिंग भी देती है और लोगों को अवेयरनेस के पूरा मौका देती है। बहुत सी जगह तो अब ऐसा होता है कि हम लोग ट्रेनिंग सेशन करते हैं, वहाँ पे ट्रेनिंग सेशन करके और लोगों को अवेयरनेस देते हैं। चाइना जो पहले $1.40 में एक पैनल पर वाट बेचता था, आज वो 9 सेंट पे आया है, तो आप देख लें कितना बड़ा फ़र्क आया है। हाँ, अभी यहाँ पे एजुकेशन की बहुत ज़रूरत है, लोगों को एजुकेट करना है। सोलर सिस्टम 2 टाइप के होते हैं, एक ऑफ ग्रिड होता है और एक ऑन ग्रिड होता है। ऑन ग्रिड सिस्टम में अगर आप लगाते हैं तो उसके अंदर आप वो बिजली, जो एक्स्ट्रा बिजली आपके पास आती है, वो बेच सकते हैं, गवर्नमेंट को ग्रिड को दे सकते हैं। और इसी तरह हाइब्रिड होता है। हाइब्रिड के अंदर आप बैटरी के ऊपर बैकअप पे जाते हैं, जहाँ पे शॉर्ट ऑफ ऑल इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का होता है उसको वहाँ से कवर करता है। और अगर आप चाहते हैं कि भाई मेरी आमदनी भी हो जाए और मेरे बिल्स भी कम हो जाएं, तो आप ऑन ग्रिड सिस्टम पे जाएंगे, नेट मीटरिंग के ऊपर जाएंगे। सोलर एनर्जी जो है पाकिस्तान में मौसमियात के लिए बहुत ज़बरदस्त, मतलब अफादियत की है, क्योंकि रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी पे अगर पूरी दुनिया इस वक्त काम कर रही है और पाकिस्तान भी इस पे काम करेगा इंशाल्लाह। लेकिन मसला सिर्फ यहाँ पे यह आता है कि सोलर एनर्जी जो है वो किस तरह यहाँ पे स्टार्ट लिया जाए पाकिस्तान के अंदर। अब जितना भी पाकिस्तान में काम हो रहा है सोलर एनर्जी के ऊपर, ये तकरीबन 8-10 साल से काम हो रहा है एक्चुअल देखा जाए तो अब इंशाल्लाह पाकिस्तान के अंदर अगर इस पर भरपूर काम किया जाए तो बहुत पिक्चर है।
As we conclude our exploration of sustainable solutions, it's crucial to consider the role of the oil and gas industry. OGDCL is helping lead the way towards a more sustainable energy future.
The oil and gas sector in Pakistan is sensitized about its responsibility towards the environment. So without sensitization, it's not important, it's not possible that you are able to achieve the desired results. Secondly, the sector is regulated in a manner that before initiating any activity, you have to seek certain clearances from the environmental protection agencies. So as part of that regulatory framework which is there, so representing the upstream petroleum sector, I can say with a lot of confidence that all the upstream petroleum companies in Pakistan, they abide by the regulatory framework, the compliance requirements, and try to do more and go beyond what is required, and especially in the wake of these extraordinary circumstances which have emerged during the past few years, where Pakistan is suffering in an disproportionate way. So not only the government, but the civil society and as well as the industry ought to play an important and effective and a proactive role. So I would say that one, that the industry is sensitized about its responsibilities. Secondly, it is sensitized about its regulatory responsibilities, and also the impact which fossil fuels can play in environmental degradation. So we are sensitized about that, and we ensure that our operations damage the environment to the bare minimum. And if there are any consequences which can possibly affect the environment, we ought to take mitigating measures in order to minimize that impact. So OGDCL this year became the first public sector company to release a sustainability report. OGDCL, along with other major upstream petroleum companies, we are now partnering with the COP Forum. At COP28, we signed the Decarbonization Charter, which is an international commitment on behalf of the oil and gas companies to reduce their carbon footprint. So it was a bold decision on the part of Pakistani companies to become part of that forum from the very beginning. And we thought that in order to, if we have to take tangible, serious measures which can make some impact, it's better to join some international collaboration where our working is also monitored. At the same time, we benefit from the experiences of other companies and how the international companies are moving towards greener technologies and greener environment. So as member of the Decarbonization Charter now, we are closely associated with the Decarbonization Secretariat. Training programs are going on. We are sharing information as regards our own carbon footprint, our methane emissions, and what the steps that we are taking. And so that is also a demonstration of seriousness from our part. All the buildings that OGDCL will construct, whether for its own business and operational purposes, or whether for the purposes of under a CSR program like any hospital, dispensary, or a school, those will be EDGE certified, which means that those will have to be certified as green buildings. So that is another initiative that we have taken. This OGDCL house, which is the headquarters of the company, it is under the process of EDGE certification. So inshallah, very soon this will be certified as a green building. Other than that, it is important that we augment and forge our relationship with the academia. So OGDCL is working very closely with the GIK.
The road to sustainability is long and complex, but today's efforts are laying the foundation for a greener, more sustainable future. Every organization we've explored in this documentary is not just reacting to the challenges posed by climate change, they're actively shaping a future where businesses and communities thrive in harmony with the environment. Through the innovation, collaboration, and commitment to change, these companies are demonstrating that sustainability is not just a buzzword. It's the driving force behind their growth and success. But it's clear that this journey is far from over. As more organizations embrace sustainable practices and technologies, the collective impact will become even more powerful. The story of sustainability in Pakistan is still unfolding, and every action, no matter how small, contributes to the larger picture. Together, we can build a future where sustainability is the norm, not the exception, and where our planet's resources are protected for generations to come. Thank you for joining us on this journey. The work done today is just the beginning.
So why I feel so strongly about Breathe Pakistan and why I wanted to be affiliated with Breathe Pakistan from the inception of the idea was because this is the first time that I believe one of the most reputable media houses, which is the Dawn Media Group, has brought the private and the public sector together and given us a platform to not only talk about the initiatives that we are doing and the initiatives that we have been doing for some time and endeavor to do in the future with regards to slowing down the rapid negative pace of climate change. It's also brought the private and the public sector together, and it's held us accountable and is going to hold us accountable for all the initiatives that we plan on doing, as well as given us a platform to talk about and raise awareness to the masses and to the public by way of media on all platforms of media, such as the 100 million people that have access to digital media, the people that are consuming traditional media through TV. It's a one-stop shop solution to raise awareness with regards to how serious climate change is.
Breathe Pakistan.
A Dawn Media initiative.
Let's weather the change
Together.